Danny Kovacs had been driving the I-80 corridor for 17 years. Nebraska to New York, same route, twice a week. He knew every truck stop, every speed trap, every place where the road got lonely enough to make you check your mirrors just to remember you're real. On March 13, 2019, Danny called his dispatcher at 27 a.m. from somewhere outside Des Moines. "I'm pulling over," he said. His voice sounded tight. "There's something wrong with the road." "What do you mean, something wrong?" the dispatcher asked. "Exit 280. It's not supposed to be here." The dispatcher pulled up the route map. "Danny, there is no exit 280 in that stretch. You're thinking of..." "I'm looking right at it," Danny interrupted. "Big green sign. Says rest area services available. But I've driven this route 1,000 times. This exit doesn't exist." There was a long pause on the line. The dispatcher could hear Danny's breathing, fast and shallow. "Don't take it," the dispatcher said. "Just keep driving." "I have to," Danny said. "My rig pulling toward it. I can't stop it." The line went dead. They found Danny's truck 3 days later, parked perfectly on the shoulder of I-80, about 40 miles past Des Moines. The engine was still running, his coffee was still warm in the cup holder. His logbook was open to a page that shouldn't exist, filled with entries dated years into the future, all in his handwriting. Each entry said the same thing: "Exit 280 Wo. Don't stop. They're waiting." The GPS showed his last recorded position at a spot where no exit has ever existed. State police reviewed every mile of dashcam footage. At 25:50 a.m., the camera shows Danny taking an exit ramp that appears for exactly 7 seconds of footage before the screen goes black. When the video resumes 12 minutes later, the truck is back on I-80, but Danny is gone. His wife received a call from his cell phone 6 months later. No one spoke. Just the sound of diesel engines, dozens of them, all idling in perfect unison. And underneath it all, barely audible, Danny's voice, repeating coordinates that lead to an empty field in Iowa where nothing has ever been built. Lisa Chen loved night driving on Route 66. The old highway, the classic Americana, the romance of it all. She hauled specialty cargo, vintage cars and motorcycles across the historic route at least once a month. On August 3, 2021, somewhere between Amarillo and Albuquerque, Lisa's boyfriend received a frantic voice message at 15 a.m. "Babe, there's a convoy behind it. Has to be 20, maybe 30 trucks. All old models, like 1970s old. They've been following me for an hour. Their headlights are wrong. Too yellow, too dim. I can see the drivers. They're all just staring straight ahead, not blinking. I'm going to pull over at the next..." The message cut off. Highway Patrol found her rig 6 hours later at a closed-down truck stop that hadn't been operational since 1987. The truck was parked among dozens of other trucks, all vintage models from the 70s, all covered in decades of dust. But Lisa's truck looked like it had been there just as long. Rust had consumed the wheel wells. The tires were flat and cracked. Spider webs filled the cab. Inside they found Lisa's phone, her wallet, her logbook. The last entry read, "They stopped. All of them. The drivers are getting out. They want me to join them. They say the route never ends if you know how to drive it right. They say in 1976 they all made the same choice I'm about to make." The vintage trucks around her rig were registered to drivers who'd gone missing on Route 66 between 1970 and 1979. Every single case had been cold for decades. On the dusty dashboard of each truck, written in the grime, the same date: August 3rd. Different years, but always August 3rd. Lisa's boyfriend visited the lot 3 weeks later. Her truck was gone. So were all the others. The lot was empty, just cracked asphalt and weeds. But in the dirt, he found fresh tire tracks. At least 30 trucks had left recently, all heading west on Route 66. Her credit card was used at a gas station in Kingman, Arizona, 4 months later. Security footage shows someone in a trucker's jacket, face obscured by shadow, pumping diesel into 1977 Peterbilt. The Mackinac Bridge connects Michigan's Upper and Lower Peninsula, 5 miles of steel suspended over the Straits of Mackinac. In high winds, the suspension cables sing. Truckers who cross it regularly know that sound. They've learned to ignore it. Rick Dennison crossed the Mackinac Bridge twice a week for 9 years, Detroit to Marquette and back. He was crossing southbound on November 11, 2020, when he called his daughter at 11:47 p.m. "The bridge is singing," he said. "But it's not the wind. There's no wind tonight." "Dad, are you okay?" "The cables, they're vibrating. But I can hear words. It's singing words. It knows my name." His voice dropped to a whisper. "It's singing about Mom." Rick's wife had died 3 years earlier. "Dad, get off the bridge. Just drive." "It's telling me things only she would know, things I never told anyone. Private things, bedroom things, fight things. It knows what I said to her the night before she can feed it." He stopped. "How does it know that?" "Dad, please, just keep driving." "The cables are moving wrong. They're bending down, reaching for the truck. I can see faces in the steel. Hundreds of faces. They're all singing together now. They want me to stop. They want me to get out. They say she's been waiting for me. They say she forgives me." The line went dead. Bridge Authority cameras captured Rick's truck crossing the bridge. At the 2-mile mark, the truck swerves slightly. Then it stops. Dead center of the bridge. Rick gets out, leaves the driver's door open, and walks to the railing. The cameras show him climbing over. Then he's gone. They never found his body. The straits are deep and the currents are vicious. But 3 days after Rick jumped, the Bridge Authority received a call from Rick's cell phone. When they answered, they could hear the sound of wind through cables. And underneath that sound, barely audible, Rick's voice singing. The same melody over and over. Words they couldn't quite make out. Other truckers started reporting the singing cables after that. Always at night. Always when crossing alone. Some hear their own names. Some hear the voices of people they've lost. 5 truckers have stopped on the Mackinac Bridge since Rick disappeared. 3 jumped. 2 locked themselves in their cabs and refused to move until police arrived. Those 2 won't talk about what the bridge sang to them. The Bridge Authority won't say it officially, but they've started sending escort vehicles for truckers crossing alone at night. They say it's a safety measure. But the escorts always drive ahead, never looking back. They don't want to see who might be standing on the railing. I-75, the stretch they call Alligator Alley, is 80 miles of straight road through the Everglades. Trucker James Patterson knew it well. He'd been running Miami to Tampa for 12 years. On June 6, 2018, James radioed a bizarre message to other truckers on the CB at 4:42 a.m. "Breaker, breaker, anyone else picking up this radio station?" Coming in on AM 640, it's playing a traffic report for Alligator Alley, but it's describing accidents that haven't happened yet. It just said there's going to be a 4-car pileup at mile marker 63 in 20 minutes. It described my truck, gave my license plate number. Another trucker responded, "I'm not getting anything on 640. You feeling okay?" "I'm fine," James said, "but this is freaking me out." The announcer, his voice sounds like me. It is me. I'm listening to myself give a traffic report, and now it's saying, "Oh God." It's saying I'm going to pull over at mile marker 49. It's giving the exact time. 4 minutes from now. Don't pull over, the other trucker said. Whatever you do, keep driving. I'm trying, James said. His voice cracked, but my hands are turning the wheel. I can't control them. I'm pulling over. I'm static. Florida Highway Patrol found James's truck at mile marker 49, pulled onto the narrow shoulder. The driver's door was open. The radio was tuned to AM 640, nothing but static. His logbook was open to a page that contained detailed descriptions of his own disappearance, written in his handwriting, dated 3 years before it happened. But the worst part was the dashcam footage. It shows James sitting in the driver's seat, staring straight ahead, while an identical version of James appears in the passenger seat. The duplicate is translucent, like a reflection in glass. It reaches over and opens the driver's door. James gets out, moving like a puppet. The duplicate slides into the driver's seat, becoming more solid as James walks away from the truck toward the swamp. The duplicate James looks directly at the camera and smiles. Then he reaches over and shuts off the dashcam. Other truckers report picking up AM 640 on Alligator Alley. It's always a traffic report. It's always accurate. And if it mentions your vehicle specifically, if it predicts what you're about to do, you have about 5 minutes before you lose control of your own hands. 4 truckers have gone missing on Alligator Alley since James. Each one radioed about AM 640 first. Each truck was found at a different mile marker, always pulled over perfectly, always empty. And each time, someone reports seeing that truck back on the highway a week later, driver behind the wheel, moving normally through traffic. But the driver never responds to CB calls. They never stop. They just drive Alligator Alley, back and forth, forever. Interstate 5 through California's Central Valley gets thick fog in winter. Tule fog, they call it. Dense enough to swallow entire trucks. Visibility drops to 10 feet, sometimes less. Accidents happen every year, pileups that involve dozens of vehicles. Maria Gonzalez was hauling produce from Bakersfield to Sacramento on January 8th. She'd driven I-5 in fog before. She knew to slow down, keep her flashers on, stay alert. But at 5:15 a.m., she posted a live video to her TikTok account. The video shows her dashboard and the wall of white fog beyond the windshield. You can barely see the road. Maria's voice is shaky. Guys, I need someone to tell me I'm not crazy. Look at the fog. Tell me you see them too. She points the camera forward. At first it's just fog, but then you see it. Faces. Human faces pressed against the windshield from the outside. Dozens of them. They appear for a second, then fade back into the fog. Different faces. Different ages. All of them mouth breathing against the glass, leaving condensation, then vanishing. They've been appearing for the last 10 minutes, Maria says. Every few seconds, another face. They're not saying anything, just staring at me. Some of them are crying, some are bleeding. I think they're trying to warn me about something. A face appears right against the camera. A young man, maybe 25. His eyes are wide. His mouth opens like he's screaming, but there's no sound. Maria gasps. That was the guy from the news. The accident last month. The pileup near Stockton. He died. I recognize him from the article. Why is he in my... The video cuts off abruptly. California Highway Patrol found Maria's truck 3 hours later. It was part of a massive pileup on I-5. 23 vehicles, 8 fatalities. Maria was one of them. Her truck had been rear-ended by a semi that didn't see her in the fog. But here's what doesn't make sense. According to the crash reconstruction, Maria had been stopped in the middle of the highway for at least 20 minutes before the collision. Engine off, flashers off, just sitting there in the fog. Her TikTok video shows her driving when the faces appeared. But the timestamp on her phone shows she posted that video 45 minutes before the crash. What was she doing for those 45 minutes? Police recovered her phone. The live video had continued recording after the TikTok stream ended. The full video is 90 minutes long. After she stops talking, the camera is just pointed at the foggy windshield. For 40 minutes, faces appear against the glass. Hundreds of them. Some of them can be identified, victims from previous fog-related accidents on I-5, going back 30 years. Then, at the 70-minute mark, Maria's door opens. She gets out of the truck. The camera can see her walking away into the fog. She's following something, someone, a figure barely visible in the white. She walks for about 50 yards, then stops. She turns around and looks back at her truck. The camera catches her face. She's smiling, peaceful, like she's seeing something beautiful. Then the fog swallows her completely. 20 seconds later, she walks back to the truck. But something's wrong. She's moving stiffly. Her face is blank. She climbs back into the driver's seat, pulls the door closed, and just sits there, staring straight ahead, not moving, not blinking. The video shows her sitting like that for 18 more minutes, until the impact. During those 18 minutes, faces continue to appear on the windshield. But now they're all the same face. They're all Maria. And they're all mouthing the same words over and over. Lip readers say she say, "Don't stop, keep driving, no matter what you see." Truckers still drive I-5 through the fog, but some report seeing a woman standing on the shoulder, always in the thickest fog, always around mile marker 278, where Maria died. She waves at them frantically, trying to flag them down. The smart ones don't stop. They keep their eyes forward and drive through, because the drivers who do stop, their trucks are found later, stopped in the middle of the highway. Engines off, drivers gone, and their phones always contain the same video. Faces in the fog, dozens of faces. And somewhere in that crowd of faces, if you look carefully, you can see the previous drivers who stopped. All of them mouth breathing against the glass. All of them trying to warn the next person.